Well, here we go. An extreme threat for hail coming today. The wording is quite strong from the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center, showing that an area here across the Carolinas into Tennessee could have what's called extreme hail. We're talking the size of eggs possible out of some of this hail. You see that highlighted area. It's rare to see a hatched area like this, which means the probability is there for 2-inch or greater sized hail. That is rare for the southeast. That's something you typically see out toward the west, and something we'll have to look out for later today as we begin to see these storms roll on through. Hi everybody, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping you posted along the way. Please like this video, and in the comment section let me know where you're watching from. It helps me dictate a forecast to where you're located at, and we've got to watch this growing risk for storms today, because once they form and begin to move off toward the east, they're going to pack a punch. So we're talking late afternoon, early evening from Tennessee into the western North Carolina mountains, and then late evening for the upstate. Now, you see that bullseye, that yellow, that is the highest risk for severe weather, although that risk for storms extends all the way down to Orlando, into Charlotte and Columbia. Let's look at where we go tomorrow, because there's another risk for storms on Friday, mainly south of I-85, as some of that same energy moves off toward the south and east in some areas. And then Saturday, we're still keeping the thunderstorm chances around, but it's mainly going to shift over to just some regular old thunderstorms, not as widespread. Let's show you how we get there, because this is a rare outlook. We need to talk about all three risks today, because they're all three in place. The hail is by far the highest risk, and the reason why is there's some colder air just above our heads, and what that does is it allows the freezing line to be lower to the ground, which means those hailstones that are in most thunderstorms that normally go up and then down and then melt under some warmer air, with it being freezing just above our heads, those hailstones don't melt and they fall as larger hail. So this would be late tonight into the evening hours, and most of western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee highlighted under that extreme threat. And again, that hatched area, if you look at the key down here, is a 10% chance of significant severe, which significant severe with regard to hail is 2 inches or greater. Yikes, that is a weird, unusual look. Also, there is a highlighted area, a 2% chance of tornadic activity here. These storms are going to be so strong with the lapse rates the way that they are that we could get some weak rotation in any of this, and the possibility is there for a low-end risk of a spin-up tornado. Much like the setup for Saturday, certainly not our greatest risk or our highest risk, but going into the afternoon and evening hours, we'll have to look out for the potential of a spin-up. That would be a quick, brief tornado like we had in Easley, but it's something we'll have to watch out for, because we also have a wind outlook. That is a level 2 risk. So summing it up, level 2 significant risk for hail, a level 1 risk for tornadoes, a level 2 risk for high wind. So the wind and the hail certainly the more predominant threat here. And you see that hail threat is across western North Carolina, where even the mountains get you up into some of those higher freezing line areas. So let's time it out here with a brand new computer model showing as we go through this morning, we got the chance for a few showers, but generally speaking, most of the south is cooking with some sunshine today. That's going to allow things to get very unstable and warm. And as the afternoon comes to us, that's when some storms are going to begin to form. This piece of energy here is above our heads, and what it does is it has some very cold air above us, and that will allow the storms to pack a much more pronounced punch here, and that will come on through here during the late evening hours. Let's zoom this in and show you what it looks like on our high resolution rapid refresh model. These are just other models within our toolbox that can help us get in on some of these storms. So looking at it closer here for the Carolinas, let's go back through Georgia and Tennessee. Here it comes. This would be 6 p.m. Some storms trying to fire up in Asheville and Hendersonville. That'd be the beginning of it. And then here we go into 7 o'clock, some more storms there. And then by 8, 9, 10 o'clock, that's when some more storms are trying to bubble up across the upstate. And it could be up to around 11 o'clock that we see some of this activity across Greenwood, Lawrence, Greenville, Spartanburg. Now, this is a situation where it's not going to be for every single one of us. Not all of us are going to see a storm, but those of us that do, it certainly could be on the strong side. And here's why. We are already seeing some sunshine, and that is going to just cook our atmosphere. I'm seeing the joules of CAPE, that's the fuel or the thunderstorm potential, be on the order of about 3,000 across Georgia, parts of the Carolinas. That red right there is storm fuel that's like the middle of summer. I mean, just think as hot and humid and as packed full of energy as you can think of. That's going to be the case going into this evening, and it sets the stage for that. Not only that, we are looking at a lot of rain coming our way across the south and east over the next week. I mean, this week into early next week, some of these models here are showing significant rain. I mean, if I zoom into this, the new outlook here from the European model is showing the order of 2 to 5 inches of rain here across parts of the south. That is a lot of rain. A lot of rain that we need to look out for here moving into early next week especially. But let's look specifically at the lightning, because I know so many of you have kids, have animals that just don't like to hear the lightning and the thunder. Well, here we go into tonight. It looks like we're going to get some really electrical storms out of this activity. I'm talking thousands of lightning strikes in a matter of an hour or so. Here we are through 7, 8, 9 o'clock. I mean, there is a lot of lightning showing up on our models here through 9, 10, 11 here. So do know that the Carolinas and Georgia, in addition to having the risk of hail and strong winds, these will be very electrical storms. I see a lot of electricity in this that's going to try to move our way. And again, that rain total, I don't think we're going to get in on flooding, at least widespread flooding risks just yet. However, as we go deeper in the forecast here into next week, notice how those rainfall totals go from about an inch in that orange color to the reds and deeper reds. As we get into next week, you got some areas down here toward Panama City are 10 plus inches of rain. The upstate and western North Carolina in that red, which is 4 to 5 inches of rain. And that looks to be the case moving forward here. As for Mother's Day weekend, graduations, when can you expect storms? Well, I think beyond the storms this afternoon and evening, Friday's a bit spotty. I don't think many of us will see widespread activity. 30% chance of a pop-up shower or storm in the environment. But that's great for graduations going on. Going into Saturday, again, most of the day is dry, 30% chance of a spotty shower or storm. And honestly, Sunday is looking mainly dry, 30% chance of a shower, a thunderstorm. But Sunday night into Monday, look what comes our way. This would be Monday morning at 8 a.m. Widespread rain's back in the picture. So simply put, folks, you need to stay weather aware this evening, weather aware tonight. Please let me know where you're watching from in the comment section. I'll go back and look at this and try to tailor my next video to where you're watching from. But know that hail and strong winds are a predominant threat. I can't rule out a tornado. And moving beyond Friday, Saturday, Sunday, dialing back the rain chances, still a rain chance, still a storm chance, just not as widespread. So you'll get plenty of dry time with any kind of activities you may have planned with your families. However, Monday and Tuesday, soaking rain moves our way. Looks less stormy, but more rainy Monday, Tuesday. Folks, I will keep you posted. Now is a great time, if you do not already, to please like this video. Let me know where you're watching from in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on notifications. It's a great way to stay safe during storms like this, as I will keep you posted during any hailstorms that form later today.